Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people, all those expressions. This is going to be some meeting because I've lost all my notes. What do you mean, yay? We have a 9 o'clock RAC meeting before we have this meeting at 10. So I had all my notes separated, for the two meetings. And the ones for this meeting I put behind me on some sort of a stand, and they ain't there anymore. I don't know where they are. So who knows how this is going to go, but welcome. And so let's start with the pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Needless to say, we're going to forego the president's remarks until I can get my act together, right? and moving along on our, okay. Oh, there we are. Okay, all right. Oh, here they are. All right, all right. All right, we have, a executive committee of RAC and so on. I'm the president. Kathy Moore over here is our Kathy is our able vice president, and Vienna Kate is our secretary. And our vice presidents, I believe, all right, Sarah Jones Chambers, Sarah's over there, right? And Pearl Birnbaum, Pearl's, yes. She's also a liaison now. She just loves this RAC stuff, right? And Janet Harris, is Janet here? Janice, yeah. No. And of course, beloved Ron Sweet, who's no longer with us, all right? Thank you. The council members, and if you're here, please stand. Okay, Carolyn O'Neill is recently back on the committee. Is Carolyn here? Yes, Carolyn, all right. Alice Aragon is on what? On vacation? Oh, okay. See, it was in my notes. Joyce McCutcheon is here. Joyce, thank you. Okay, and Vienna you've already met, and so, brand new. She's just a few minutes old. That's a bad word, right? No, don't say it. She's only been a few minutes with us, right? She just got signed from the fifth floor now, Sharon Aronsville. Give her a warm welcome. And we have Ron Carter. Ron over here. And Letha Jones. Letha. All right, Pam Cummings. Let's see, on the first floor is Pam here. A doctor, someone? Okay. Harry is here. I know Harry. I get it. I blow it every time, right? Carolyn O'Brien. There's Carolyn. We're glad to have her back after all her physical problems. So welcome. Very special to be back. All right. Al Roberts. There. And Doug Hine. Sue Schultz. She's at a wedding. Okay. And Janet is not with us this morning. Okay.
Down to the back.
Oh, where's? Oh, I'm sorry. Is Oh, very good, thank you. Well, there she is way back there. Glad she's here. Kathy Moore, you've met already, Pearl, you've met, and Ron was our, there's Ron. Okay. And of course, one of the new members of our now RAC Council is a designated resident representative. This is now part of the new law of 652, but 651. Well, one of those numbers. Yeah, plus or minus whatever. And Sandra Thorson, now here she is our new elected RAC rep. Okay. We'll skip remarks. And so we've got some business to attend to, but I'm going to put it off and so on because we want to hear from our executive director, Angie.
So maybe lucky or unlucky for you, I did not lose my notes. Just a couple things. I got some feedback this week. People are confused about what's going on with our new Spectrum contract. So I'm not sure this is going to help, but I'm going to try. Really just super step by step what's going to happen. So if you're at Golfview Terrace, you may be going through your DTA swap outs right now. When I say DTA, they're the little cable boxes that we provide to you as part of your basic cable and included in your monthly fee. Spectrum is coming around and swapping those out for larger boxes. Now that part would have happened with or without a new contract. So that's not related to our new contract. They are just replacing those universally because they're no longer going to support those small DTA boxes. So that's step one, and unrelated to our new agreement. Once that whole process is complete, and I think they're moving on to the Plaza building next week, you'll hear from Lavinia, I'm sure, as they get close to your floor to swap out those boxes for you. Once that's complete, my understanding is that Spectrum is going to send everybody a letter. And in that letter, it's going to say, you need to call us to switch over responsibility for your cable boxes to you. Which means, and I'll explain what that means. Up to this point, Freedom Plaza was responsible for the physical equipment. Meaning we paid the bill and we were responsible for the little cable boxes we gave you. But if you had wireless internet in your apartment and you had a modem and a router, that was always your responsibility because you paid for it. So under our new agreement, you're responsible for all the equipment. We're still going to get the bill, but you're responsible for the equipment. And what that means is that you or your personal representative, if you move to a higher level of care, you're responsible for taking the equipment with you to that apartment. Or if you leave Freedom Plaza, you're responsible for returning it to Spectrum. So that's what, when I say you're responsible for the equipment, that's what it means. So again, you are always responsible for your modems, your routers, but now you will also be responsible for the cable boxes that are provided. So again, we pay for the basic cable. That's included in your monthly fee. And under the new agreement, we're going to pay for wireless internet service. We're going to pay it. We're going to bill you $20 for wireless internet, if you currently have wireless internet that you're paying for. So that should be a $50 to $70 savings a month for you based on what you're currently paying. So any other changes in your billing, and believe me, Spectrum likes to change billing, is going to be related to their pricing. So if you currently have upgraded cable service with a DVR box or any premium channels, things like that, that's still going to be billed to you separately. The only change under this new agreement is that we're going to manage the wireless internet service in the apartments, and we're going to charge you $20 a month. Now, Al?
Two questions. One is, will we have to be
So I don't know. So I'll send out an email today. I'll talk to Lavinia and see how that's working. Pearl, how's it work at GBT?
You have to be home in order for them to come.
Okay.
And they let us know within a 3-hour.
Okay, so you're gonna get a window of time and you need to be home for them to swap out the boxes. Yes, so telephone service, if you currently have telephone service through Spectrum, or we call it a landline, that service will continue and you'll continue to pay for it. All right. So I had my notes here, just wanted to say, it's been fun dealing with Spectrum these last few weeks as we've embarked on this change. I have worked with about 4 or 5 different folks that claim they work in different departments and none of them talk to each other. So, been on several calls. I anticipate there being some hiccups along the way. And we'll address those as they arise. Our account manager is a really nice gentleman and he tries to be very helpful and be as accommodating as possible. So we know it'll be bumpy till we get all this equipment in and everybody makes their calls and everything, and we're happy to help with that as you go through that process. But just a general timeline for what we think this all looks like is our hope is that, you know, we swap out all the boxes over the course of probably the next 2 weeks. That puts us in maybe around the 10th of June, and then they're hoping to activate our new agreement on July 1st. That's the goal for activation date. And then the change in billing, meaning when you stop paying for internet and we start, is 30 days after activation. So on or about August 1st is what we're looking at for when we'll start billing you the $20 and that $80 to $90 comes off your bill for wireless internet service. Neil? Yes, you will keep your DVR box. Yep, if you have one, you keep it. The other couple things I had on my notes here, I mentioned it, I think, when we did our presentation last Friday, and I'll mention again. Some of our tech folks on the tech committee working closely with Susie and Kayla in activities on really building out our Touchtown application to offer all the same services that are currently on racrep.org. So I know on racrep.org we post videos of the RAC meetings. You can watch town hall meetings, you can put in transportation requests and work orders and dining comment cards, all those things. So we're working to sort of mirror Touchtown to racrep.org. And I know there's been at least one, and I know there's another one scheduled. It may have happened, I'm not sure. The Touchtown tutorials. So I encourage you, if you have not gone already, and you're interested, if you're not, don't worry about it. But if you want to learn more about Touchtown and how to use Touchtown and the features on there, I encourage you to sign up for one of those tutorials. I've heard really positive feedback from it. Mr. Madden?
Recently, I received an email from Spectrum asking me to certify if I wanted certain discounts, and I thought it had something to do with this, and it clearly doesn't.
No. So I did mention, I think in a memo last week, another resident had come to me and they received a call from Spectrum offering some sort of discounted rate if they prepaid 5 or 6 months worth of service. And it's a scam. They called Spectrum and verified that, but they were very knowledgeable. They knew how much this resident paid every month for their services. So just be wary of that. If you need Spectrum information, I would call the number on your bill from Spectrum or talk to Lavinia or Sibby if it's related to the services we provide. But do not prepay anything or sign up for any discounted plan, because we should be, that's not legitimate. Ellie?
On Touchtown, we have, there's a limitation on how many people they can train. Can you send that manual to everyone, either
Sure.
electronically or in paper?
So I know in the tutorials, they're giving out manuals that are individual to each person that attends. It's a lot of good, I've gotten really good feedback on the information provided in those manuals, and we will certainly get them out to everybody. But I know for myself, sometimes I like to go through it in person as well. So we'll give you the manual, but I still encourage you to sign up for the tutorials if that helps you. Just make a note here. And then next, Stephanie's off today, and I think it's because she's recovering from managing the resident copier and fax machine, because it's constantly broken. So, that resident copier and printer is really not designed for volume. It's max 10 pages. And I will tell you, as of late, all I hear is banging and slamming and beeping, and it was broken a few nights ago. I wasn't here, but Stephanie shared that the copy guy came and there was pieces that were bent that he had to replace, and he's like, you're using this machine way too hard. So what I'm asking is, if you have a small job, 5, maybe 10 pages, it's fine to use that machine. But if you have something larger that needs to be printed, or you want to make several copies, work with Stephanie. If you're able to email her a document that needs to be printed, she can print it on the bigger copier, and she can make copies on the big copier if you're looking for volume. That machine is really just meant, I think of somebody has to print a boarding pass to go on a plane ride, or maybe they want to print an email or something. It's not designed to print 200-page manuals. So right now there's an out of order sign on it. Martha came to me this morning because somewhere between when we left last night and this morning, it was jammed and lights were on and everything else. So just be wary. We're gonna, obviously we will get it fixed, but that's a light use machine. And just along those same lines, I would ask that, we have those 2 shred bins for residents in the same area. And I know I tend to do 10 years worth of cleaning out at once versus, as I go. But I ask that you do not bring all your paperwork from the last 25 years down and fill the shred bins to the gills, and then nobody else can put anything in them. We have those emptied bi-weekly, and they are for everybody. So if one person fills it up, there's no room for anybody else until it's emptied again. So I just ask you to ration your shredding. Maybe put a big box of papers by your door and bring a handful down every time you're gonna walk by the shred bin. That's just fine. Just that happens too. We leave one night and we come back and it's filled. So be wary of that. And then the last thing I have to say is our town hall meeting on June 4th, which is Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we're going to do our annual hurricane preparedness meeting. So we always encourage you to come listen to that and learn about what you need to do to be ready for hurricanes at Freedom Plaza. We always do pretty well here, and keep everybody informed. But that's all I have today. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Appreciate it. The Resident Association Council, RAC, Resident Association Council, taken me years to learn that, is not a club, right? You know that. It's not a club. What it is part of the Florida legislation. At chapter 651, and I won't get into all that, but under Florida law, it establishes a RAC for CCRCs. That's our way here, or why we're here. You see, it's a product of the Florida law, and it is here for and on behalf of the people, you, me, and this council of floor representatives, you know, of all 17 of them, and so on, works on behalf of the residents at Freedom Plaza. All right? You understand who we are and what we are? Okay. And in trying to service the residents, we have established committees relative to life here at Freedom Plaza. And there are a bunch of committees, right? And these committees have volunteers from the pool of residents to be on these committees to deal with these subjects and on behalf of the residents. That's what it's about. Any questions on that? You know what this is, okay? And so right now, it is that time of the year again. What time is that, Bill? It's the time of the year whereby we solicit from the residents, do you want to be on a council? And what council do you want to be on? I mean, which committee? Thank you. The coaches are right here, folks. Now, if you want to be on one of these committees, and so now the ladies here are going to explain this.
Do we have? Yes, we do have 2 mics. Okay. Could I see, before we get started, Bill, thank you very much. You set it up very nicely for us. And so what Deanna and I are going to do is just very quickly move through the descriptions of each committee. We're going to ask, as we go through it, ask the chair of each of the committees to stand while we talk about their committee. And then when we finish with this part of the meeting, we have tables in the back of the room. There is space for each committee. There are sign-up sheets, and there are also more of the so-called application forms that were left in everybody's mailbox earlier this week. So you really have 2 different ways that you can volunteer for a committee, and we certainly encourage you to do that. One of the advantages of joining a committee, as most of you know, but I'll say this particularly for new residents, is it's a great opportunity to meet more people here and to learn more about our wonderful community. And frankly, it's also a good way to make your voice heard in your particular area of interest. So we encourage you to volunteer for 1 or more committees. But before we start this part, could I just see a show of hands of how many of you are already on or currently on a committee, whatever that committee might be? Great, thank you, and thank you for your service. And now I'd like to know how many of the other folks here are thinking about joining a committee. Yes, 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 thank you, good, yes, wonderful. Okay, so we're going to just do a quick run through of each of the committee descriptions, and I'm going to hand it over to Deanna to get us started.
Thank you, Kathy. I feel like we're here at the Academy Awards. The first committee is the Administrative Services Committee. And Carol, you want to wait?
Would you
stand?
Yeah, great.
And she's the current chairman. And they work with the Freedom Plaza Administrative Services Department to ensure the highest standards of transportation, security, and front desk services.
So if you have any questions and you have a particular interest in that committee, Carol is going to be back there afterwards, and I'm sure she'll be happy to talk to you. Judy Schmidt, I think you're here with us. Yes, Judy, thank you. Judy is the acting chair of the Associate Appreciation Committee. And this is the committee that every year collects anonymous monetary donations from residents and those funds are distributed annually to the hourly associates who work here and do so much for us and make our lives so comfortable here. As you well know, we are not permitted to give tips to any of the employees during the year, and so this really is in lieu of that. So, and again, Judy will be in the back. Thank you, Judy.
Okay, our next committee is the Community Activities Committee, and our illustrious president, Bill Turcotte, is the chairman of that committee.
Just in case they don't know who you are, this is Bill Turcotte.
And this committee works with Freedom Plaza Community Life Services Department, which we know is the Activities Department. And they ensure a proper mix of activities and programs that are available to the residents.
Okay, next up is Anita Sciotta. There she is. Anita is chair of the Dining Services Committee. And this is a committee that works with our Dining Services Department to ensure the highest standards of food and dining service here at Freedom Plaza. And as a committee, it also makes menu recommendations to the dining services personnel. Thank you.
And our next committee is a subcommittee of the casual dining subcommittee. And Judy Schmidt, oh, there she is,
Different hat.
is the chairman of that committee. And they provide input to the dining committee concerning the American Grill and the sports bar operations and menus.
And next up, we have the Finance Committee. Neil Rothfeld, yes, thank you. Neil is the chairman of this committee. And this committee is a little bit different in that if you have a particular interest in becoming a part of the committee, you really need to have a background in finance. So I know that's kind of an extra criteria. But the Finance Committee monitors Freedom Plaza financial services and management activity to protect our investment. Every one of us obviously has invested in Freedom Plaza, and they're there to keep an eye on the numbers and help protect our investments. And they do ask that you have a background in finance. Thank you, Neil.
Okay, the next committee is the Golf Committee. And Marty O'Neill, or there he is.
Yeah.
Now we're covered by the state law.
Probably not, but it's
Probably the only golf course.
it's an important committee. A lot of people play golf.
Yeah. Please stay, Neil, Marty, please,
Stay standing, I guess.
please stay standing for a moment.
Okay, the Golf Committee cooperates with the Director of Golf and Tennis to ensure Freedom Fairways is a fun, well-maintained golf destination for both residents and golfers from outside our community. And they also promote various golf events.
And now I believe also you all are working, Marty, I think you all are working with First Tee that does camps throughout the year for school-age children.
Summer camp.
Yeah, summer camp, yeah.
Have them on Saturdays during the year.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and next up is Healthcare Committee, and Janet Warren, sitting back there at one of the tables, she is the chair of this committee, and she's got a lot of information back there about the various activities that they're involved in. Her committee works with the Resident Services Director to ensure healthcare information, access to services, plans activities and programs that include presentations from physicians and experts, and provide support groups. And they also publish a really nice quarterly newsletter called Did You Know? And I highly recommend that when that comes out each quarter that you take some time to spend with that, because there's always some really good information in that. So thank you. Thanks, Janet.
Okay, our next committee is the Housekeeping Committee, and Letha Jones is the chairman of that committee. And they support Freedom Plaza Environmental Services Department, which we know is the housekeeping department, through monthly inspections of common spaces at GBT and the plaza, and promotes positive interaction with management and residents.
Okay. And next up is the Maintenance Committee, and Ron Carter, right over here, is the chair of that committee. And maintenance is one of the committees that is considered a working committee, so it can have more than 9 members, and which is really helpful because we've got people from every building, every wing, and each of the GBT buildings as well, residents who are supporting that. So the maintenance committee supports Freedom Plaza plant services to ensure common area maintenance and landscaping issues that are to be handled effectively and in a timely manner.
Okay, the next one is sports committee. And there's several sports here at Freedom Plaza, but this one in particular promotes, is Joe Birnbaum here?
I'm in the back of the bus.
Here he is in the back of the
There
bus.
he is.
He's waiting for you.
Yeah. They promote tennis and pickleball at Freedom Plaza through tennis and pickleball events and activities.
And last but not least, we have the Technology Committee. Tom Hart, I believe you're here. Thank you. Yes. The Technology Committee works to provide education and support to residents about technology and home electronics, including smartphones, tablets, computers, and smart TVs. Okay. And I think that's all that we have right now on the committees.
That wraps it up.
I
yes.
think so. It definitely wraps it up.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you, ladies. That was a lot of work on their part, and I appreciate it, and I hope you do too. And I also hope you will, those of you who are interested, please sign up for one of these committees. The chair of each one of these works with their committee, and the chair will select who goes on the committee for. So it's chosen by a resident. Residents are chosen by residents. That's how you get on the committee. Okay. There's one thing I wanted to be sure I hit, because I remember it from my notes, which I've lost, is the dress code. The dress code took a lot of work on the council's part and the subcommittee that worked on it. The dress code, if you think about it, it goes back to the beginning of Freedom Plaza in 1992. Remember, it was started for retired military personnel. Dress code, military personnel. You begin to see the picture, dress code, military personnel. And over time, of course, it's not exclusively for military personnel. Some of us peons joined and infiltrated their group. And so the dress code, the attitude about dress code changed. But up until about a month ago or so on, we had a certain dress code, and the committee was asked to review it in light of today, where we eat and what kind of food we're eating, was an influence. And so we put together a new dress code. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it is one of the places you can see it is as you go sign up. Oh, is it up here? Okay. All right. Well, you can't read all that and so on and so forth. Yeah. What my hero. I'm not going to go through that, but basically what it is, it's okay. It can be casual all the time in it's not the pub anymore, what do they call it? Sports bar, okay. It always can be casual there. It doesn't have to be, it's not required, but it can be, right? It is also casual in the Maui, except. And the exception is kind of like in respect. Because Sunday for a lot of people is the day for church or church-related activities or, some sort of observance on a Sunday. And people don't wear, usually anyway, people don't wear casual clothes or that sort of thing. So people are involved in that sort of an activity. They come to the Maui for their meal and so on, and they're in the more dressed up clothes, so forth. So if you were not running in from the church to eat your Sunday meal, but you were coming like from the golf course or something like that, you got casual clothes on. So to accommodate that, we said, okay, if you are dressed casually on Sunday, only Sunday, then you need to take your food out of the Maui, you pick it up yourself, right? And then go to the pub, to the sports bar, right? In other words, take it out of that room and go into the casual room. You follow right? Other than that, that's it. The rest of the rooms are all, you know, the old system. Any question on that? There was consideration about make the whole left side casual, make the right side, you know, more formal and so on and so forth. But anyway, it isn't cast in stone, but this is what we're trying to do. And incidentally, I can't leave this subject without showing you, if someone violates that code, it's not up to the kids, the students, the servers, to go tell that person, you got shots on and you're in the Williamsburg room. It's not up to them. They're not cops. It's not up to management. It's our dress code. See, because the question, I've been here 12 years, and the questions are, well, how come they don't, no, they don't, it's us. And so, God bless this committee. This committee says if there are violations, go tell the president. Yeah, you gotta find me first, right, okay. Go tell the president, and the only thing the president's gonna do is shoot him. No. The only thing the president's gonna do is, you know, point out, hey, you're in violation of our dress code. Yeah. And just hope they will respond in a positive manner. Are there any questions? All right. I know it's a little bit early, but I'm hoping we can take some time. What have we got? Oh, the OIR. All right, that's OIR. What is it? Right. Office of Insurance Regulations. Right. OIR. It's Tallahassee, the big shots, you know, up there. Right. So now it's the department that is involved overseas places like the CCRCs, right? And I just wanted you to know that they're on the ball. What they did is they sent me a copy of a 2-year audit. It's very heavy. It's about that thick. I was going to show it to you, but I can't find my notes. But they did that. So in other words, they're complying with the law to let RAC see that report, that audit report. So we have it here in the building, and also I understand you people in the committee, right? The finance committee, they also get the report. But anyway, it's there, and then I know Maureen got that from our accounting office and so on and so forth. When I got another phone call, said, "Hey Bill, guess what?" So I go back up to the 4th floor, and they gave me the last quarter of 2024, that audit, so on. So I have that. So the point is, I don't have it, RAC has it, okay? If you're interested, RAC has it. So contact us if you want to read that bedtime story, all right, of a 2-year audit. Good luck. And of course, I say the DRR, but she is here with us today. You have met her already, and so on and so forth. And she is now part of RAC. Okay, and she will be, from time to time when necessary, Sandra will be reporting to you at meetings such as this, all right? So there is a future in this department, and we're glad she's on board. All right. Now, do you have any questions? Well, hearing none, thank you for coming, and we'll see you in 2 months.